Hello, everyone. I don't know if anyone's on. As soon as you log on, would you mind saying hello so I know who's there? Is anyone here? I'm waiting to see if anyone logs on. Hi, Elena. Welcome. Anyone else? Is this lesson going to be just between me and Elena? I continue just for you, Elena. Hi, Gianmarco. Welcome. I'm going to wait a few more seconds to see if anyone else joins, just in case. So, how is everyone doing? You can't hear me. Uh-oh. Can you hear me now? No? Oh my God, what have I done? Okay, good. No, you can't hear me. Oh my God. What have I done? Okay, let me try to... Hello? It should work. I don't understand why you can't hear me. Oh my God. Can you hear me? No, no one? Does it work? Ah, thank God. How awkward. Okay, great. So let's start with the lesson then, I guess. I think for the moment it's just Gianmarco and Elena. If anyone else joins in later, we can continue introducing ourselves and saying hello. So our lesson today is about imagination. We're going to cover talking about creativity and imagination. We're going to learn some new phrasal verbs and some idioms, some expressions connected to creativity and imagination. So let's see. The first exercise is about trying to be creative. So I don't know how we're going to do this virtually, but we can try. we have to think of 5 ways to use a stapler. This object here is a stapler, but one of the uses cannot be obviously stapling. That would be too easy. We have to think of some original ways to use a stapler. Let's see what you can come up with. Any ideas of how to use a stapler in an original way? Anyone? What do you think? So I don't know why, but the first idea that comes to mind is to use the stapler as a weapon. You understand a weapon? What does a weapon mean? Nice one, Elena. You said like a hammer. That is a much better tool than a weapon. Gianmarco, do you know what a weapon is? Any ideas, Gianmarco or Elena? Well, a weapon is something that you can use to defend yourself from another person. So if someone is attacking you and you are scared for your life, you can use, yes, very good, Gianmarco, as a weapon. I don't know if it's the best weapon, a stapler, but if you're desperate and you have no other choice, you can try to use your stapler. Yes, a gun is also a form of weapon, a knife, a bomb. Anything can be a weapon if you know how to use it. So any other original uses for a stapler? How else can I use a stapler? Maybe in a less violent way? Something more practical? Anyone? Any ideas? Elena said a hammer. Could it be anything else? No? Come on, guys, you have to use your creativity. I can think of many ways of using a stapler. Well, a stapler is not common. It's not a common weapon for sure. It's not even it's a strange object to use for something different. But imagine that you have a lot of pieces of paper on your desk and you don't want the papers to fly away. You could use the stapler as an object to block the papers on your desk. That is called a paperweight. Yeah, did you know this word? Paperweight? What else? How else can we use a stapler? I like this idea, Elena. Let's show your idea to everyone. If you are, let's say you're at work and your dress tears, yeah, it's and you have no other solution but use your stapler. Be very careful when you staple your dress, but it could definitely work in an emergency situation. What else could you do? I need some more ideas, Gianmarco. I know this is not an easy exercise. Let me think. How else could we use it? It's not easy, this exercise. We could use it. We could use it to block a door You know, when you want to keep the door open, but your window is also open and you're worried that your door will slam, like bam, you could use it as a door holder. Any other ideas? You give up? Okay, let's move on. Let's see what the exercise says. You see? As a doorstop. The doorstop was the idea I gave you to block the door. As a paperweight, the other idea I gave you to block papers on your desk. As a weapon, as a bookend. What is a bookend? Hi, Giacomo, welcome. Do you know what a bookend is? Any ideas? Elena, this is an outrageous idea. But good. It's good for a horror film, probably. But what is a bookend? Any ideas? Imagine you have a line of books. Can't see my hands. A line of books, and you want to keep the books upright. You don't want them to fall. So you can put an object at the end of the books to block them. That's a bookend. Usually you have one on each side. Then we have a nutcracker. What is a nutcracker? Yes, exactly. Exactly. Well done. A nutcracker is an object to do what? Any ideas? I don't know if you like eating nuts, but I do. Nuts come in a hard, oh, where are my hands? In a hard shell, and it's very difficult to open it. So you could use a paperweight, sorry, a stapler as to crack open the nut and eat the nut inside. What else do you have? Yes, well done, Elena. Then we have as a fake telephone to play with a child. So why not? I don't know, everyone's done it with a kid when they use an object and they say, oh, hi. As a hammer, that was Elena's original idea. And to scrape ice off your car as an ice scraper, when it's cold in the morning and you have to scratch the ice from the car, I would be a little bit worried to destroy my windshield. The windshield is the front part of your car that that you have the windshield wipers on, but it's made of glass, and I don't know if a stapler would not scratch all your windshield. I don't know. Why not? Okay, let's continue. Yes, the windshield, well, it's made of glass, I guess, or the window of your car is called the windshield, the front window. Okay, let's continue reading a text about J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, I'm sure you all know, and the picture gives you a clear indication, is the writer of Harry Potter. Yeah? And in this text, I think she talks or they talk about imagination. So let's see. Only very imaginative people can create children's books. And if you think about it, the world would be very different if J.K. Rowling had not dreamt up the world of Harry Potter. She was daydreaming on a train when she first came up with the idea of the Hogwarts Express. The Hogwarts Express, I think you all know, is the train that takes Harry Potter from London to his magic school. The first thing she did was write down all her ideas. Then she brainstormed some more. She thought of keeping the stories for her daughter, but 7 years later, Harry Potter was in bookshops all around the world. So in this text, there are quite a few expressions connected to imagination and creation. Can you come up with any expressions that mean something connected to imagination? Let's see. Gianmarco, any ideas? Elena, Giacomo? So yes, the first word is an adjective, imaginative, yeah? So only very imaginative people can create children's books. So, okay, the verb to create is definitely a word about imagination and creation. What else did you say? Aha, to dream up. What does it mean? So to think about, okay, no. To dream up, what does it mean to dream up? What's the difference between dream and dream up? To dream is when you sleep at night, yeah? And you see pictures and you have sensations when you're sleeping. To dream up is to create something out of your imagination, yeah? So to create another world, ideas, all from your mind. Let's continue. She was daydreaming. This is another interesting word, to daydream. What does it mean to daydream? Yes, very good, Elena, to invent. To daydream. Are you sleeping when you're daydreaming or not? So there's an indication in the word, there's the word day. So it's not something you do at night usually. To daydream is, yes, very good, Anna, to dream with your eyes open. So it's a process of creation in your mind. You're thinking of ideas. So they're all quite similar. Yes, dreaming while awake. Yeah. Excellent. When she first came up with, to come up with is to also, it's similar to create, to imagine. To brainstorm. What does it mean to brainstorm? This is a word I think that we use also in Italian, maybe. Usually, I mean, you could do it by yourself, you could do it in a group. When you come up with as many ideas as you can, without controlling yourself too much. The idea of brainstorming is that any idea is valid. Just, get it out. And then later, in a second phase, you can make a selection and decide which ideas are good or bad. Yeah? Let's continue. Okay, she thought of. Okay. Sorry, let's go back to the day. Yes, very good. Do you consider yourselves creative people? That's a difficult question, but do you think that you're creative? Do you think that you're imaginative? Or do you think you could work a bit more on your creativity and imagination? I think I'm quite a creative person, an imaginative person. I love coming up with stories in my head or thinking of alternative scenarios or playing games with my children. Do you consider yourselves imaginative? I'll write it down. Do you consider yourselves? Giacomo says he is. Okay, I'm curious. Can you tell me one thing that makes you an imaginative person, Giacomo? And everyone else too, huh? Elena, do you consider yourself an imaginative person? What about Gianmarco? Where have you gone, Gianmarco? You're not very creative? No, I don't believe it. Why not? Why do you think you're not a creative person? Giacomo is creative when he creates a new logo for his clients. Definitely, you need to be imaginative and creative to come up with, especially with visual things. It's difficult, I think, to make something out of nothing. And something that people will enjoy and will use for a long time. Elena, you think you're not very imaginative? I don't believe it. You can be very imaginative in business, creating new opportunities, thinking of solutions. Do you know the expression thinking out of the box? Thinking out of the box is an expression also that shows a sense of creativity and imagination. If you have a problem and you can think of different solutions that are not obvious, you're thinking out of the box. You're ordinary, Gianmarco. I think no one is truly ordinary. I think everyone has something extraordinary about them. You just have to find that thing. Okay, let's continue. Yes, very good, Giacomo. Thinking out of the box is thinking in an unusual way. Problem solving also is a very good expression. And I think you need to be creative to do problem solving. So if we look at the next exercise, we have to fill in the gaps with the expressions at the top. So number one, how did you... the idea of painting the walls in different colors. Which word would be right in that gap? How did you... Well done, Elena. How did you come up with the idea, yeah? So let's click on it. How did you come up with the idea? Be careful, there are two prepositions. Come up with, yeah? It's a phrasal verb with two prepositions. To invent, to get the idea, yeah? Number two, something, your favorite film. Why is it so special to you? Well, this one is quite easy, I think, because, yes, well done. Well done, Giacomo, come up with, yes. Number two, I think you have a clue because you have the first letter is capitalized. Yes, very good. Think about, Gianmarco, well done. Think about your favorite film. Why is it so special to you? Number three, before Picasso, No one ever something painting the way he did. What is the correct expression for number 3? Before Picasso, no one ever thought of. Well done, Giacomo. Yeah, thought of. Yeah, Elena, well done. Good job, Gianmarco. Yes, I'll add it to the. So no one had the idea before. Number 4, J.K. Rowling, something, a world of magic. Which one is the correct expression? J.K. Rowling, a world of magic. Yes, well done, everyone. Created, yes. It means that it didn't exist before and she made it happen. I'll add it to the text. Number 5, before writing an essay is something usually that you do in school for your teacher. I think in Italian you say a tema, maybe. Before writing an essay, you should always ideas. So before writing an essay, you should always ideas. What should I put? Yes, well done, Gianmarco. Brainstorm. It's a good recommendation. It's good advice. You should always brainstorm before you start writing. It's a good idea. Brainstorm and then maybe structure your thoughts a little bit, and then you can start writing more efficiently. So, number 6, I did not pay much attention in class and spent a lot of time. I was a bit like that, especially during my math lessons. I was always very distracted. I shouldn't say this, but I used to write notes to my friends in the back of the class instead of following the math lessons because I was really bad at math. So I did not pay much attention in class and spent a lot of time daydreaming. Well done, guys. I promise I did pay attention in other lessons. But math and science was not good for me. Number 7, well done, Giacomo. Number 7, do not listen to John. He always crazy theories about people. So I've noticed one is really hard because you have so many options. So I'll just go ahead and put the answer. Yes. So do not listen to John. He always dreams up crazy theories about people. Yeah, he imagines crazy theories about people. Let's continue. Let's think of ways to increase your creativity and imagination. Yeah? I don't know if you have any advice you could give other people to become more creative. What could we do to be more imaginative people? Any ideas? Like you all, apart from Giacomo, Elena and Gianmarco said that they were not very creative. I don't know if I agree with that. But how do you think you could improve your creativity? Do you think there are any life hacks? Do you know this expression, a life hack? A life hack is something to make your life easier. There are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to simplify your life with a life hack. Like, I don't know, how to open a jar and they will show you some tricks, or how to fold your sheets, or so this is a life hack. Do you think there are life hacks for creativity and imagination? What can we do to be more creative? We can brainstorm together, to use a word that we just saw. Any ideas? I can give you one idea. I think that playing, yeah, life hacks are very useful. I love those videos. Sometimes I don't think they really work, but some things are obvious, but some things are super cool. Anyway, I think to improve our creativity, we can try playing with children. I don't know if you guys have the opportunity to play with little children, but they have a very creative and imaginative outlook on life. They're always seeing the world in a different way because they don't know what objects are used for. Like, for example, the initial example of the stapler. A child, maybe a small child, doesn't know that a stapler is used to staple. So for them, a stapler could be anything. And I think that if we observe small children and kind of play with them, we can... yes, good idea, Gianmarco. Read books. I think that's a great idea to improve your creativity. But don't read serious books, like books about, I don't know, science or things that are very intellectual. Read books about characters and stories, books that make you travel in a different world. Yeah, fantasy, exactly. And so Harry Potter is an example, but there are many, many, many books out there. Also, science fiction could be fun. And then that gives us another trick to observation. And I agree, observing other people and how they do things can give you lots of new ideas. Like, I will tell you a little secret. When I go to someone's house, I love to see how they organize their house, how they decorate their house, the colors they have chosen. I even like to peek into their kitchen cupboards. I know it's very cheeky, but I like to see how they do things because maybe they have a genius idea that I don't have or I never thought of. And by observing them, I can get new ideas. Yeah, it's true. You can find ideas everywhere, as Elena says. Also, listening to people. Yes. Personally, I love hearing people's stories, the things that they've done, the places they've been to. It gives me lots of ideas for trips, or also new ways of thinking about the world and how we do things. Giacomo says, exploring your passions. Yes, I completely agree. Sadly, we don't have a lot of time to do the things we love. And taking that time for ourselves to develop our creativity and the things we love doing, from, I don't know, even if it's gardening or playing video games, or it could be something that makes you feel good and brings new ideas into your life. Okay, let's see what the focus recommends. What do they recommend? Spending time with children. Listening to music. No one came up with that idea, but I think it's also great. Read. Yeah, I think Gianmarco gave the idea of reading. Take risks. So taking risks is definitely a good idea. Even little risks, nothing crazy, but for example, you're driving to work, and when you drive to work, you always take the same road. Why not? Okay, now it's not a very good example at the moment, but imagine that you change the usual road that you take and you try a new way. Who knows what you could discover? For me, this is taking a risk. because I might be late. Improvise, yes. Improvising will definitely make you use your creativity. If you're not under control, if the situation is not under control, something interesting could come out of it. You might feel nervous, but maybe something fun will happen. Try something new every day. Yeah, even something small. Like you could try something new to eat. Yes, as Giacomo says, get out of your comfort zone. The theater, yeah, why not? Okay, these are all, we should try and think of some examples to increase our creativity from home. Because sadly, we can't go to the theater right now or to the cinema. But we could do little things from home. Try eating something that we haven't eaten before. I don't know. I can't come up with any other ideas. Teaching is creative. Yes. Okay, next slide. Here are some common idioms that are used in relation to creativity, imagination. Let's see. Some of them we've mentioned before, some of them not. So you have to try and guess. I know this is not very intuitive. If you know it, good. If you don't know it, it's hard to know. But we have to connect the first part of the sentence with the second. So he has his head in, what could it be? He has his head in, what should I connect to that? Anyone? Would you like a hint? It's in the picture. He has his head in. Yes, Giacomo, in the clouds, indeed. I'm not going to tell you now what it means. I think you can guess, but in the second slide, they will tell us the meaning. I'll leave that for now. Next one, curiosity killed. I don't know if you have something similar in Italian. Curiosity killed what? Well, there's only one thing that is, yes, the cat. That is a bit of a sad example, but curiosity killed the cat. Think outside. This one I think I told you already. Think outside what? Yes, Elena, curiosity killed the cat. It's true. We'll look at it afterwards and understand what it means. So think outside what? Think outside the... Think outside the box. I think this is the example I gave you earlier. My mind went, When you have no idea exactly, my mind went blank. My mind went blank is when nothing comes to mind. For example, you're trying to think about an idea about how to be more creative, and you cannot come up with any ideas, then your mind goes blank. Number 5, I had a light bulb. You know what a light bulb is? It's a glass object that you connect to electricity to make a light. So I had a light bulb. You could also say I had a eureka. It means the same. So when you have an idea, yes, thank you, Giacomo. I had a light bulb moment. Ta-ta! I just had an idea. Wow. Something, I just had a revelation. And the last one, a penny. So the penny is the English money, the money that's little, like for example, the cents in with the euro. You have a pound and you have a penny. So a penny for your, yeah, thank you, Elena. Yeah, a penny for your thoughts. Now, let's see what all these expressions mean. Here we have some more examples. I'm going to read them out, and then you're going to tell me which expression is the right one for the sentence. Number one, he has bad results in school because he always has his head in the clouds. So what option would be the correct option? A, B, C, D, E, or F? In your opinion, which one is an explanation of number one? So A is a sudden realization or idea. B, to think differently or in an original new way. C, being too curious will end badly. D, to daydream. E, what are you thinking about? F, can't think of anything to say. Well done, Elena. To daydream, yes. To have your head in the clouds is when you're thinking about other things and not thinking about what the teacher says. Yeah. Or in your boss is talking to you and you're just thinking about your shopping list or about picking up your kids from school. It doesn't always have to be about something creative. Then, number two, you shouldn't ask so many questions. Curiosity killed the cat. Ooh, what a warning. Don't ask so many questions. Number two is C. Yes, being too curious will end badly for you. I don't know if you agree or not. Do you think it's dangerous to be too curious? Because it's definitely one of my problems. I am a very curious person. Another word for a very curious person is a nosy person. To be nosy is when you're interested in other people's business. Like, really? What happened? What did you do? And then? So I'm quite a nosy person. Yeah, nosy. So, number three. Yes, Elena, the expression is ignorance is bliss. I don't know if you know this expression. Ignorance is bliss. Bliss is another word for very strong happiness. Yeah, when you feel in a beautiful state of joy. So they say that ignorance is bliss. Sometimes not to know is better. It's true. Being too curious can have some negative consequences, so beware. Okay. So we were saying, sorry, let me just connect them so we see what we've done. So we said head in the clouds is D, curiosity killed the cat is C. Number three, to solve this problem, we need to think outside the box. So to solve a problem, we need to think outside of the box. I think someone already put the answer, maybe Giacomo. It's to think differently or in an original new way. Number four, my mind went blank as soon as I sat down for this exam. What does that mean? My mind went blank. My mind went blank as soon as I sat down for the exam. Which letter is it? Thank you, Giacomo. S. My mind went blank as soon as I sat down for the exam. It means that I couldn't think of anything to say or to write. I had absolutely no ideas at that point. It can happen, especially in the worst moments. Number 5, I don't know if you used to watch MacGyver. Maybe Gianmarco is too young to know MacGyver. MacGyver had a light bulb moment and used a paperclip. A paperclip, I don't know if I have one on my desk, is a little metal object that you can use to put two pages together. Yeah. So if you've watched MacGyver, this guy could create anything. Like, he was always in dangerous situations, and out of nothing, a piece of chewing gum and a paper clip, he could create a bomb, he could open a door. He was like a magician. So yes, very good. A sudden realization or idea. Yeah. We also, as I said before, we call it also a Eureka moment. A Eureka moment is when you have a moment of realization, like, oh wow, I can do that. Well done. Okay, let me put the answer. So guys, it's going to be hard, but what's the last one? You look worried. A penny for your thoughts? So it's often used, actually it's always used as a question. When you want to know what the other person is thinking or what's going on, you use a penny for your thoughts. So E, what are you thinking about? Yeah. Basically, I will give you a little bit of money to understand what's going on in your mind. Especially if it's something that's not obvious, that I can't tell immediately. Yes, what are you thinking about? What's going on? Obviously, you don't have to really give them the money. I know that it's difficult to have English money in your pocket all the time. You cannot say a cent or a dollar for your thoughts. You have to say a penny for your thoughts. That's just the way it is. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, a journalist is interviewing you about your imagination. Okay, this exercise is a little bit difficult to do on the chat, but let's see. Instead of this, I think, which is a little bit difficult to do, I found an article that gives you ideas on how to be creative. Why don't I put it on the screen so you can also see it and we can read it together? There are some difficult words, so I'm just going to summarize the main idea, and you can give me your feedback and what you think about it. If there are any words you don't understand, you can write them in the chat and I'll answer that, okay? So bear with me 1 minute. I'm just going to change the screen if I can manage to do this. Okay, I'll be with you in a second. Here it is. Let's see. So this article is called 10 Surprising Ways to Develop Your Imagination. So let's go scroll down directly to the ideas. Some of them are similar to the ones we saw in the focus. For example, read. I'm going to summarize the idea. I can also send you the link at the end of the lesson if you want to take your time and read it carefully. But basically, they say that reading is often associated with book learning. So reading to learn new things, which is often boring, yeah, irrelevant, and worse, required. I don't know if you remember when you were children, when your teacher would assign reading, they would say, okay, over the holidays, you have to read this book. And often when you have to do something because the teacher says you have to do it, or because your mom or your dad say you have to do it, then maybe it kind of takes the fun out of it. So if something is required, it's not your choice. So this article recommends to read books for yourself, not because another person tells you that you have to read them. So choose books that make you happy, that open up new experiences, new ideas. Remember that reading is the cheapest form of travel. If you don't have money to travel and go around the world, you could buy a book and read it, and basically you are traveling very cheaply to another part of the world. So yeah, especially if you're stuck in your house because you cannot go out and you cannot travel, it's the perfect opportunity to read a book and travel with your imagination. The second example, what we said before, is to daydream. So basically, they say that daydreaming is opening your mind to possibilities. Yeah. When you take a break from your daily tasks, your daily activities, or you are stuck in traffic, observe the things around you and let your mind wander. To wander is to go on a trip, basically to go somewhere else, yeah, but metaphorically. I read somewhere that now, because of smartphones and technology, people daydream much less than before. And this is a big problem because when you have an opportunity to daydream, you can also improve your creativity. But because people are stuck on their phones, looking at posts, reading Facebook posts and looking at pictures on Instagram, they're not spending time staring at nothing. Yeah, as Giacomo says, driving in silence in my car helps me to think. I don't know how often we do that, just to be quiet with no technology, no computer, no film, no input. And we just observe what is happening around us without talking, without interacting. And these moments when your mind relaxes are often the moments when great ideas come to mind. Let's continue with the ideas. Socialize. There's a Mexican proverb that translates, this is of course a translation, it's not exactly the same, but tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are. So the people that you surround yourself with, this is this part, if your friends and the people you love have imagination, then some of that imagination should rub off on you. That means that by coming in contact with imagination or imaginative people, you might become more imaginative too. Do you agree with that? Do you think that if your friends are creative, you will also be creative by extension, or you think it doesn't work like that? Would you agree that it could help you to be more creative, to have creative friends or creative colleagues? I don't know. This is a debatable one. We could argue yes, and we could argue no, I think. To assist, what do they mean by assist? Basically, if you have an opportunity to be part of brainstorming for new ideas, new products, new technology, take that chance. You can pick the brains. To pick the brains is basically look into someone else's mind and understand how they think, ask them questions, and get inspiration from what they are thinking. Just being around when these things are being discussed can open new vistas to your own imagination. So by being in contact with people who are creating something new, thinking of new solutions, new ideas, it can help you to come up with creative ideas too. Yeah. Yeah. Giacomo says that it helps to share things with other people. Definitely. I think especially when you want to think of solutions or new ideas, the more people you speak to or with, you might come up with better solutions. Yeah. The next example is to play. And I think the focus kind of mentioned that idea. So obviously there are games for adults and games for children, but any game has an element of creativity. Like you have the rules of the game, but then maybe you can modify them, maybe you can find new solutions, maybe you can try to cheat. You understand the word to cheat? To cheat is when you don't follow the rules of the game. Yeah? To cheat. And I think actually, even though we don't think that cheating is good when you play a game, cheaters are actually very creative people because they find a way out of the rules and manage to win the game. So you need a certain level of imagination and creativity to be a cheater. I also heard that when children lie for the first time, that you shouldn't be worried because it's a sign that they are creative. They don't see things as in only one way, black or white. They start to be more flexible with the truth. And that is another sign of creativity. Okay. Next example is to create. Creating things, or I would say also working with your hands or with your body, are a great way to help your imagination and your creativity. We don't do many things with our hands and our body anymore. It's all about the mind. And sometimes when you do something with your body and you create something tangible, physical, it helps to relax your mind, and great ideas can come in those moments. Or even when you do repetitive actions, like, I don't know, doing the dishes or cleaning your house, you don't really think when you're doing these things. Or when you go jogging or to the gym. And in those moments, maybe you can have a creative, a light bulb moment. Another one is to share, okay? So to share is kind of what we said before. I think it was Giacomo's idea, or I don't remember if it was Elena's, but to talk with your friends, your families, your coworkers, find out what they think and how they react. This can help you narrow your focus and pursue a promising line of thought further. So maybe you have an idea, but by confronting this idea with another person, this can push you to come up with a better idea or new ideas. Yeah. Finally, number 9 is meditate. This is similar to the example I was saying about doing repetitive activities, but meditating doesn't mean that you have to sit with your legs crossed and say Om. But meditate can just be a moment when you relax your mind, when you stop thinking so intensely about everything that is happening in your life, and you just kind of switch off your mind a bit and relax. And then maybe some great ideas will come. Finally, study. What does studying mean? It's interesting to study as an adult because you don't have to do it for your teachers. You can do it for yourself. You can study the things that you are really interested in, things that are useful for you. And in that moment, maybe you'll come up with some great ideas. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today's lesson on imagination. I hope that you can use these days stuck at home to come up with some creative ideas, something fun to do that will make you feel good and happy and not stressed out or worried about our current situation. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon for another lesson. Bye! Oh, sorry, just if you want, before I go, I'll send you the link to this article if you want to read it. Take your time to read it by yourself. Obviously, you don't have to do it. Okay, bye everyone.